Yo, what's up everyone, and today I'm gonna start a new series called Inside the Head of a Super Unicum, and today it's gonna be the first episode and new series for us, and we're gonna start with Progetto 65. So before we start, I'm just gonna quickly say that the series is gonna be about me playing live for like 2 or 3 battles, and then I will talk through everything that I do in game and what I'm thinking of. So before we start going into the battles, let's just quickly load up the tank. So in the camouflage, if you want to save some credits, especially in tier 10, I would really recommend buying yourself a tier 10 camo net, or getting one from the crate, or getting some camos from the battle pass, and you definitely get a lot of the camos from the battle pass which you can use on your tank, and that's gonna really save you a lot of credits in the long run. At least that's what a super unicum like I am doing. Secondly, get your crew up to 75% minimum, and if you want to spend the gold on getting the 100% crew. For me, I don't like spending my gold, and I just go for 75%. Next thing, let's get our consumables. So for the first consumable, well, it really depends on you. I would use the engine boost on this tank. You could use like automatic fire extinguisher to extinguish the fire, and don't really use your multi-purpose restoration pack. You could also buy a first aid kit, pretty much the same purpose of automatic fire extinguisher. If your crew gets knocked out, you use it instead of your multi-purpose kit. Now the second one most definitely are gonna be repair kit. Let's be honest, you need repair kits, especially if you get tractor ammo rack, then you definitely need repair kits. And the third one would be multi-purpose restoration pack, obviously second repair kit, or just a fire extinguisher or a medkit. It depends on what kind of situation you're in. Next, for the provisions, well, it kind of depends on you and the class. For the mediums and Progetto, you could be using both fuels. Like it's not bad to have 13% engine power and 13% traverse speed. But personally, myself, I like having crew mastery a little bit more than speed. Obviously, I have crew mastery, then improved fuel to get around the map quicker. And protective kit is actually a really useful tool if you use it correctly. Like if you play heavy tanks or tank destroyers without turret, like this can be really useful because it protects your crew. Even with mediums, it could be useful, which don't have a lot of armor, to protect yourself against HE ammunition, and you can avoid getting wrecked by it, and maybe save some repair kits that you might need later. And at the end, obviously, the 10% crew mastery item, whichever it is, like for every nation it is different. For example, for Progetto it is Cheesehead, and I will definitely use it, especially this one, because it gives plus 10% to crew mastery. Basically what that means is that every single crew member in your tank performs 10% better. For the ammunition, well, it depends. I like to use quite a lot of gold and high explosive. High explosive is basically for the tanks like Grill or Waffle Tractor or Batchet, while heat is for the more heavily armored tanks, and APCR is just, you know, to do more damage, more DPM. That's basically it. You can't copy the loadout, but to be honest, it depends on you, on how much the tank has ammo. Let's move to equipment, and this is gonna be interesting because a lot of you guys could be using either ventilation or on some tanks like gun rammer, I think it's called. But personally myself, I started to switch over to calibrated shells. It doesn't give a lot of difference in the lower tiers, but I still use it just to not get that bad RNG when you bounce somehow. So basically, I used calibrated shells to gain some extra pen on my APCR, heat, and high explosive. As you can see, that's 12 to the APCR, 30 to the heat, and 5 to the high explosive. Now in these ones it really depends, I think, on the tank. Like you can use improved modules while you're playing with your heavies or non-turreted tank destroyers. or even light tanks, to be honest, because light tanks tend to get tracked or get wrecked by ramming. But personally, I like using defense system because it doesn't wreck my modules as much. While if you use defense system, you don't really need the protective kit, but protective kit is pretty much 2 times better defense system, so it depends on what you choose. Now, for the optics or camouflage net, I choose optics just because I'm a medium tank and I will definitely need camo for it. And if I can spot my enemies sooner than they can spot me, that means that I might be able to get a 3 or 2 free shots and they cannot even get a single one. Well, it kinda depends from the situation, but usually I like having a little bit more view range, but also, as I said, it depends on the tank, what you're playing on. Now for here, enhanced gun laying drive, it adds 10% to the aiming speed, or you can use supercharge and you get better shell velocity and you don't lose as much penetration. Well, this supercharge could actually work with the calibrated shells as I'm thinking about it, but I'm using the aiming speed simply because I already have APCR, and APCR has really good shell velocity and I don't really need it. I would recommend the supercharge when you're playing on ATD or a heavy like E100 which doesn't have any shell velocity, to add some, and it doesn't have any pen, especially TDs when they're sniping from a long range. Now, enhanced armor or improved assembly, well, it really depends on your tank. I would, to be honest, pick improved assembly on most of the tanks, even on some heavies, simply because having more hit points is more beneficial to you than having a little bit better armor, especially if players are starting to use calibrated shells like I am doing right now. Maybe someone else is gonna do that as well once they see this video, we'll see. Well, if they are using calibrated shells, then enhanced armor is really not that special. It adds like maximum 10 millimeters of armor, and as you can see, calibrated shells adds more, so it kind of depends on you. I like having more HP just to take a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 extra shots from the tanks and still survive. It depends on you. I like the HP. Now, for the engine accelerator and improved control, it really depends on the tank class, as I said. Well, improved control gives you a really crap ton of hull traverse speed, whereas engine accelerator adds some power to weight ratio, which means that you accelerate to your top speed a little bit quicker. Also, it gives you some traverse speed as well as improved control, which means that you turn your tank a little bit closer, but as you can see, improved control adds 2 times more boost than engine accelerator does, and it gives engine power, which means that you can go through soft, hard or medium terrain, a ground easier with more speed. Well, it doesn't really feel it from soft or hard terrain on Blitz, but on, for example, World of Tanks PC, it kinda does matter, so it depends what you really want. On the mediums, I would rather use engine accelerator. On non-turret ATDs or heavies that turn really slow, like Mouse E100, VK, IS4 113, I would probably recommend using improved control. Now, for the third tier of equipment, vertical stabilizer or refined gun. Well, stabilizer gives you a little bit quicker aiming time and it gives you accuracy while moving, but to be honest, I like having lower dispersion overall. What that basically means is, if your dispersion is lower, that means that your aiming circle is not gonna blow out as much as it would if you had a higher dispersion. That means when you're playing with a drop gun, you see your bloom is really big and it keeps extending when you're moving. With this refined gun, it keeps it a little bit smaller, which I really like, and that means that basically from that point you don't really need as much aiming time to fully aim, in my opinion. And yeah, vertical stabilizer is good, you can hit on the move, but it kind of depends on you. Now here, moving to the next one, toolbox or enhanced tracks. Well, I really don't use enhanced tracks all that much, but if you're playing with some kind of light tank and you get tracked, then maybe you can get instantly repaired with your tracks and you can withstand more hits. That could be helpful, or with some kind of heavy, but if someone shoots at HE, I don't think you're gonna hold it up. So I would rather choose Toolbox to have 30% more repair speed. I think that's more beneficial to you. Repairing your tracks and moving around the battlefield a little bit quicker, I think that's a little bit more important than just having a chance of taking a hit. For the last equipment, well, it depends on the tank. If I have adrenaline on the tank, then I use high-end consumable mostly. That means that if I had this equipment, instead of 15 seconds of adrenaline, I would have 20 seconds of adrenaline, and that could be crucial, especially at the late game when you're using your adrenaline and you need to go through the tanks quicker. But if you have engine boost and like repair kits with it, then I would highly recommend using consumable delivery system, simply because it refreshes your consumables a little bit faster and you can use them more often, which might be crucial if you get, for example, ammo twice or 3 times and you're ammo in the battlefield and you still need to wait some time, and if you have the consumable delivery system, then it's gonna be a little bit quicker. Well, obviously you could be using some cooldown boosters, which is gonna help as well. If you take a look, it helps by 30%, so that's pretty much, I think that's like 2 times more than this. Yeah, it's like 2 times more than the delivery system, but I would only use combat boosters, like the consumable boosters, if you are going to the tournament. And yeah, okay, so I think, oh, by the way, I almost forgot, let's take a look at the tank statistics first. Okay, so Progetto, I can simply tell around what's the strong point and the weak point of this tank. Well, it has pretty decent hull. It's not really amazing, but it has pretty decent gun or hull, and especially gun as well. Like it has 3 shell auto reloader. For the first shell, as you can see, it takes 8 seconds. For the second, almost 7 seconds, and for the third, 5.5 seconds to reload. Well, basically, what that means is I would basically clip everything, because how auto reloaders work in this game is you shoot 1 shell and then you need to wait for like 3 seconds shell delay to start reloading another mag. So basically that means if you shoot this one, like your first one, which is shell 3, you need to wait 3 seconds for the shell delay, then it starts loading the third shell. It takes additional 5.35 seconds to load the third shot, like the first that you just shot. If you combine that with shell delay, it becomes 8.35, and that's actually worse than the last shell that you shoot. So I would basically recommend clip out the entirety of your clip and then shoot every single shot one by one, simply to maximize your DPM in that way, at least in my opinion. And if you don't have any targets, then you can wait for the shells, and it's more beneficial that way. The penetration, APCR rounds doesn't really have great penetration. You might really struggle. That's why I'm using calibrated shells, as you can see on the equipment tab. 257, without it would be 245, I think. So yeah, it's really useful to use calibrated shells, especially in tier 10. With heat, 325 is actually pretty decent, because obviously I'm using that and that adds me like 20 plus. Without it, it would be pretty sad in my opinion. And high explosive, well, it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna really use that a lot anyway, maybe on the grills or something like that. Now the aiming time is not great, 3.5 seconds. That might be due to my 86% crew or something like that. It could be better. It could be better with the gun reload time, but yeah, it will get better. I think this is the stats for me, or maybe it is the base stats for the tank. I'm not really sure about this one, but yeah, 3.5 seconds with 3.5 dispersion, that's not really great. Oh, actually 3.15, I forgot to switch back, my bad. 0.315 dispersion, so that's not bad but not great as well. It's in the middle. It's one of the more inaccurate medium tanks. Well, that could be due to my 84% crew. As you can see, if I get the 100% crew, my dispersion goes to 0.293, so that's pretty decent. 293 is pretty decent. So yeah, it depends on my crew. If you have a 100% crew, then this is a pretty decent tank that can actually hit. It has 9 degrees of gun depression, which is really good for the tier 10 tank like this. if you can use your gun effectively and pretty often, and you can depress your gun, then it means more damage, more DPM and everything. Elevation doesn't really matter, you don't really need to use your elevation that often. Top speed, forward 58, that's pretty damn good. 58 top speed, it's good. Well, it depends on how quickly can your tank get to the top speed, and this thing cannot really get to the top speed really quickly, and you will barely get to the top speed. Maybe if you're going downhill, then you might be able to. And yeah, those stuff doesn't really matter, you turn quite quickly. And the armor is not great, only your hull is decent, turret is not great at all. You might be able to bounce with your gun mantlet, but apart from that, maybe some light tanks are gonna bounce your hull as well, but don't really rely on your hull. Rely on your skill and outplaying them. So this is it for the tank. This took quite a while, and let's jump into our first battle. So there we go, this is the first battle. First battle is in Fort Despair, which is a really small map that I don't really enjoy playing it, but as you can see, they have 4 mediums, 3 TDs. Well, I basically keep the Batchet as a medium, so basically it is 4 mediums and 3 TDs. I think their team is gonna be aggressive. They could be aggressive either in the middle or going to the heavy side. I would probably think that they're gonna be aggressive in the medium side, so I'm gonna go to the middle, but I'm gonna be cautious because they might be pushing the right side, which I think that they're gonna do. And there we go, they're pushing the right side. I'm just gonna let that Batchet push the right side, and I'm just gonna try to expand some vision. The first shot wasn't really the best. Well, I'm thinking that Progetto is camping in the bush, so that might mean that the Ds are camping with him, or they're not. They might be camping somewhere over there. That Batchet is getting wrecked. So far I'm just trying to get some vision. As you can see, we're getting 3 shots and I'm immediately taking it. This C50 missed his opportunity to get me, and I cannot really get him as well, but thanks to our calibrated shells we can actually pen his turret pretty reliably. Okay, 263 is looking at me, so I'm not really gonna peek here. I'm just waiting for the Progetto. He peeks, I bounce. Yeah, Progetto could get some ridiculous bounces, so beware of that. You need to take your time when aiming at the other Progetto. Okay, that E50 is going after the Sheridan, which is good for me. That means that I can just farm him, and this other Progetto is not really a big threat for me. E50 is not gonna peek, so I'm gonna be a little bit more aggressive over here, because the E50...
Oh, hello there!
I didn't expect that. That's the 6-3.
Enemy armor is damaged.
This 6-3 was a little bit unexpected because he was camping in the bush. He relocated, which is good for him, but now it's not gonna be really fun for him. Just getting wrecked by the mediums. Some really unlucky shots, there is nothing I can do about them. That happens. With the fun part with 263, when you're facing against it, you can just load heat and go through its gun mantlet. You can easily pen it, especially if you have calibrated shells. Now they have 2 TDs remaining, both of them can launch at me, so I'm gonna be a little bit careful. I don't really want to die quite far. Okay, so we got one quick shot, which is quite good. As I said, I don't really like this map, it's a little bit too small for me. But anyway, 2000 plus damage, like, this is the medium-ish game for us. I don't really enjoy these kind of games, but there is nothing I can do. The map is small and there is not really a lot of outplay potential, as you can see. We're third by damage, obviously Leopard did a good job. I was a little bit behind. I was just trying to survive after that 263 surprised me. Well, there was no way I could actually read that one. But well played to him for relocating, but I think he would have been more useful in that bush camping, or maybe not. Who knows? Okay, I'll see you in the second. Okay, so second battle takes us to Desert Sands, and as we can take a look at the matchmaking, they have 3 mediums, 3 heavies and 1 TD, so TD might be going with heavies, might be going with mediums, might be camping, it really depends, but they have 3 mediums, we have 3 as well, so we might be able to bring the fight at them. As I can see, my T-54 is running away, so I will need to play a little bit defensively most likely. He changed his mind, plus the T-30 is coming for for them, and maybe he could be useful for us. Now this Sheridan is gonna be clicking, nothing I can do about it, and I really like taking this position for the start because it kinda is a surprise position. Now my camo is not the greatest, and that's why I get spotted over there. Nothing I can do, I need to relocate properly. At E54 going in like it, which I don't really approve. Yeah, they have E100 coming, definitely not where I want to be. Probably E4 as well behind him, so I'm just gonna fall back. There is no need to fight against them. Okay, I got a positive trade, I'm happy. Yeah, they have most of their team over here. I don't know if it's too late to run away, we'll see. There is no way we can hold them over here, so I need to run and pray that I'm not gonna get wrecked. Seems like I'm not getting spotted, so that is good for us. Oh, I was spotted all the time. Lucky shot on the move, which I will take it. And they're gonna kill that M103, which is gonna be good for us. This batch took a little bit too long and he's gonna die for it. Now I need to be careful and be near my heavies so that they can support me. I will try to get some shots on the mediums, if that's gonna work. Let's see. Nope. Okay, I see that 140 coming, so I'm not gonna go all in. I'm gonna call for help, see if they're gonna respond. Yes, they did. Unlucky bounce. Tank is broken, nothing I can do. Okay, here we go. E62. One shot. 2 shots. I can go after him. I'm gonna take some damage, but that's okay. I need to kill him now, but I need to be careful of the Sheridan. I'm waiting for my second shot to load in. Loading heat just to be sure that I penned. I penned him, now we need to kill the Sheridan. A good focus fire is gonna win us the game here. Those 2 heavies I'm not paying attention. Snapshot didn't really work, oh well. Nothing I can do about it. We need to focus the E4. If we're not gonna focus the E4, then it's gonna be sad day for us. Missed the shot. Oh well, that happens. E100 is coming for us. That E4 just took a shot, so I'm gonna reload twice. And I'm gonna finish him off, which is good for us. Now we need to be careful of that Sheridan. That Sheridan is really a pain for us. Let's go after him. He just missed the missile, so I have some time. He's running to this side, I'm gonna go from the left side so that he doesn't run away as quickly as he should. Now let's see if we can get a snapshot. He's dead, good for us. Now the last tank is the 100. Let's see where he's aiming so that I'm not gonna die. Hopefully he's not aiming this way. And he's not. Here I could try to go for the tracking shot, but I want some damage. Actually. After we go 1 shot. And 2 shots. Okay, not bad. 3,800 damage, which is not bad. Like, I saved myself from dying in the other side, and I think that was the key. Over here to victory, then I saved some HP, killed some mediums, flanked them, killed D4, and I think that was the game. If our Batchat and T54 didn't die as quickly, I think it would have been a little bit easier maybe. Maybe not, who knows. I did 4,000 damage and I'm pretty happy with this result. Okay, let's jump into third battle and let's see if I can do anything over there. And the third map takes us to Hellas, a map which I don't really like as much, simply because I get out-camped. Well, now I kinda getting used to the positions where they could be camping, but there are Sheridans which could just loop shells over and over again, so you have to deal with it. There is nothing you can do. Well, the key in this map, in my opinion, is taking the right side of the map, which is over here, as you can see. If you go to the heavy side, in Supremacy, yeah, okay, you can go to the heavy side, you can cap the bases, that's okay, but in Encounter, which I really like playing, way more than Supremacy, I feel like going to the right side is the key. And there was only 3 of us, so we need to be careful. I don't know who is in front of me. They might be peeking, might not. Patchet is going in for some reason. Let's support our team. There we go, good focus. Sheridan is over peeking, so he's gonna pay for it. I've got a clip, I'm gonna reload a little bit. My TDs are doing work. Let's spot someone. There we go, we spotted Sue. Now we know where Sue is. He's not camping, good for us. 9 degrees of gun depression didn't really help me. That was a bad play by me. We need to focus the mediums behind us. Boom, Sheridan is dead. Good support from our teammates. We need to get the Centurion now. Boom, one shot into the track. They're rushing. Nothing I can do about it. As I said, you need to take the right side. Nothing I could have done about that rush in my opinion. Their team, I don't know if it was a good push. They took a lot of damage from our tank destroyers. I feel like it was okay, but our heavies, this heavy camped, which is not an ideal play. He should have probably went with us, helped with the Centurion or something, and then we could have survived and they wouldn't have rushed on us. But I think this should be a win for us in my opinion, if our campers are gonna play this right. Well, I'm gonna see you at the post-game stats and we're gonna see what's happened there. Ooh, this is the end of the battle. Let's see if this one-shot Sheridan can actually carry this. The enemy Sue is a one-shot and the Centurion is a two-shot unless he max rolls. Well, he really needs to kill the SU and somehow get a free shot into Centurion, which I don't think is gonna be happening. Well, this chat is flaming, but I wouldn't really bother reading the chat right now when you're carrying. So he really needs to find a shot into the SU. SU's proxy spots him, which is not good for Sheridan at all because that Centurion is coming and Centurion is in the cap circle, which means that he cannot rush the suit. Centurion is coming and he needs to max roll the Centurion. He takes the chance, as he took the chance with the Hori as well, and actually manages to kill the SU. Now the only one left is Centurion, but unlucky. He should have waited until he got unspotted and then moved around, but oh well, there's nothing I can do. Well, in my opinion, I would have done exactly the same if I had the chance to. The only little misplay in this battle was that I actually went and took one shot from the enemy SU for no reason, which was well played by that suit for punishing me when I was doing the mistake. Well played to that. Well, apart from that, I didn't really see a lot of mistakes. While I took the one shot from Sheridan, nothing I could have done. He peeked really aggressively. I was focusing the bad shot to kill him. Maybe I could have clipped the bad shot and that could have gave me a little bit more damage, but I was trying to play like a team player and I tried to win the battle more quicker. This I said was camping, and basically that was the whole the whole team on my side. Most of them were camping. Sheridan ran away as a one shot, so that's not a bad play. I would have done exactly the same if I was him, and I realized this situation, but enemy just pushed. Somehow they got away with it. Usually that kind of push doesn't really work out with like 2 or 3 players, but oh well, nothing I can do. I played like a bad player over there, took one shot, and that probably snowballed into me getting killed in like a couple of seconds by them rushing us. Oh well, nothing I can do. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. It's gonna be a little bit longer one than usual, but it's a new series. I'm gonna try something. We'll see if that's gonna work or not. It's like mini reviews, but they're not really reviews because I'm telling everything that I'm doing, and trust me, it's way more difficult to concentrate, but I'm trying. I'm sorry if you didn't understand something, because English is not my native language and there is nothing that I can do about it, my bad. Anyway, if you want to see more of those, leave a comment or tell me in the Discord and I will try to keep this up, even though it takes a little bit of time, but that's not a problem for us. We can keep publishing these videos out, and hopefully you enjoyed this little video. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.